Hey everybody, this is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com here in San Diego, California. So if you followed the channel last week, I covered performance mods for a 50cc Vespa. Let's jump to the opposite end of the spectrum. This is the bad boy, the BV350 or the Beverly 350 as it's known in the rest of the world. It's the good freeway cruising scooter, automatic transmission. I've done reviews of this scooter. I've done service videos specifically on this scooter, that's Alex's, the blue one, and maybe even this one's been in a video or two. So I'm going to go over all the various performance options that you can bolt right onto these scooters to get a little bit more out of them. They're already rather fast scooters. They easily do 140 kilometers or about almost 90 miles an hour, no problem, and they'll comfortably cruise on the highway at 75, 80 all day. So these scooters are already rather fast. They pretty much do about 90 miles an hour or 140 kilometers an hour. But if you're like me, it's always fun to trick them out just ever so slightly more. And there's not big bore kits or camshafts available for these scooters, but there's some simple mods and some drastic mods that help boost the speed, make them a little torqueier and quicker off the line, and they're all pretty simple to install. So the most popular and visually attractive mod that's available for the Beverly or BV350 would be the muffler, replacement of the stock muffler. So the stock muffler weighs quite a bit, so that's a big benefit of going to the aftermarket mufflers. They weigh easily about half or a third the weight. This is the Akrapovic Muffler, very popular muffler, built to a very high quality. I like this muffler quite a bit. I have it on my own personal BV350. Part number on this pipe is PMAK-03. You can run it with the baffle, that's pretty civilized like I do on my scooter, or you can run it without the baffle like Travis's scooter. That sounds a little bit more like a dirt bike. Let's see if the microphone will pick it up. Oops, I'm losing this stuff. So if you're looking for the best performing pipe, pretty similar looks to the Akrapovic, here's the Malossi Pipe, and this is on Alex's personal scooter. He's the owner and founder of Vespa Motorsport, and like I suggested, I've done a service video with his scooter, and I think it had this muffler on the scooter back when he purchased it new in 2014. We had it. Part number for the Malossi Pipe is M3215157. So the modification that's the best bang for the buck would be the Variator Kit. This allows the motor to stay in its peak horsepower when you're on the throttle, so it's much quicker off the line. I have this on my own personal scooter. Like how it performs. The quality is very good. It's got a greased bushing in the center, which unlike the original style Variator just has a dry centered bushing and steel pin on it. So it's a little bit of an upgrade over the stock one. Part number on this is M5115308. Pretty inexpensive. Does require some special tools to take it apart. If you watch my previous videos on doing a full service on a BV350, changing out the belt, pretty much those steps would cover replacement of the Variator. So if you really want to get your hands dirty and tune the wet clutch that's found on these BV350s, you could purchase a spring kit to fine-tune the clutch engagement point on these scooters. If you put a different spring rate in here, you pretty much can get the scooter to jump off the line quicker. In my opinion, they're pretty quick off the line the way they are. The spring kit is M2915398. And if you're in need of replacement of the whole clutch and want something that's a little less expensive than the original clutch parts, which are rather expensive for this scooter, there's the complete clutch kit of all the parts needed to do a clutch overhaul minus the gaskets. And part number on this is M5215609. You're going to need some special tools to access the clutch. And what's included in this kit is a set of all the clutch plates that are needed, the spring kit that I've spoke of previously, and the steel plates. So if you own one of these scooters, you probably know that the engine is fuel injected. There's no carburetor to play with jets on. If you want to do any sort of tuning, especially if you have an aftermarket pipe on here and want to change the mixture a little bit, enriching it over the stock mix, two options to go about to do that. There's a less expensive option that pretty much tricks the oxygen sensor into reading leaner than it is, so it in turn makes the stock fuel injection system run a little richer throughout the whole entire range where it's running in closed loop. Part number on the TC unit O2 controller is M5514746. Very simple install. Just intercepts the signal of the oxygen sensor with these pair of connectors and goes between the fuel injector to get power, and you'll just need to make one ground connection. All these connections can be made pretty easily just by removing the cover from underneath the seat. If you're looking for a more advanced controller for adjustment of the fuel, they make a Forcemaster 2 that's been specially tuned for the BV350, Beverly 350. And part number on the tuner that's on Travis's bike is M5515723. And it's a little more involved to connect. There's more connections to be made, but it's highly tunable versus just that basic plug-in O2 controller. And it ties into your diagnostic connector to get a throttle position angle sensor or position feedback. It also ties into your fuel injection and also your ignition connector. So intercepts all those signals and makes some changes. It's got 3 potentiometers to fine-tune the addition or subtraction of the fueling on the lower RPM range, the mid RPM range, and then at the very top. This map switch, it does have 4 positions, but for the BV350, they have 2 positions that are active. One with an aftermarket muffler and one with a stock muffler. So you start with one of those base maps with that last potentiometer. It does require calibration, which is a couple easy steps to do, but it makes a noticeable improvement. A little bit of a hit on your fuel economy. It tends to run the scooter a little richer, but definitely works great with aftermarket pipes. You no longer get any of those pops and backfires that are typically found with an aftermarket pipe and a lean running fuel injection system. So one of my gripes of the BV350 is the suspension is not very adequate. You can do an upgrade on the rear suspension. They do have some stuff available for the front. It's just changing the springs. Not much you can do there. It's a pretty simple fork design. Unfortunately, you can go in there and change the fluid weight if you wanted to fine tune the front. But an easy bolt-on mod for the rear, where most of the suspension action needs help on these scooters, is made by Bitubo, a popular brand of shock absorbers for the Vespas and many other European motorcycles. Italian company, a nice high quality product. It's black and red. They have these shock absorbers are gas charged. They have an internal bladder to keep the nitrogen charge separated from the oil, and they have a fine adjustment of the preload on the springs and a dual rate set of springs on there. Pretty simple to bolt up. If you're changing the tires, that'd be a perfect time to upgrade your suspension. And the part number on the set of rear shocks is BI-BV350RR. And Travis's scooter right here is equipped with these shocks. So if you're looking for the cheapest performance mod you could do to the scooter, it's right here on this scooter. It's pretty much just take the plastic fender off and bolt your license plate to the remaining bracket. So this metal bracket is what supports the rear fender, and you can just bolt a plate frame right to it. You know, the metal backing plate that would hold the plate. And that's how you get like a trick looking tidy tail on the Beverly 350 or BV 350. Of course, you wouldn't want to ride the scooter with a tail like that in the rain. Another thing that's happened is we moved the turn signals to the original European positions, and that entails cutting the connectors off the original pods and then wiring them to the turn signals that are in the lens. In the rest of the world, this lens is clear with amber indicators for the turn signals. For the United States, it's red, and it's illegal to use red turn signals, even though the spacing's not adequate for the standards here in the United States. So the last two items I have to share with you from Malossi aren't necessarily performance items, but just quality replacement parts that are from the aftermarket supplier Malossi. You can get a high flow air filter from Malossi. It's a complete air filter that you can re-oil and clean, reuse several times. M1415662. And if you're looking to replace a dry belt, which I have videos covering replacement of the dry belt, and I think I've displayed this belt in the videos. Part number M6115279 is for a Malossi replacement dry belt. So if you have a BV350, hopefully that enlightens you on the performance products available for that scooter. If you're in the market for a BV350, well, here's a perfect example with all the performance mods already bolted up. This belonged to a technician that does most of the performance builds for me at Vespa Motorsport. His name is Travis. He has several vintage Vespas, modern Vespas, motorcycles, all sorts of stuff. And he's used this for several years and wanted to move on and is looking to sell it. And I was going to go over all the stuff he's done to it. And if you're interested in purchasing it, you could certainly call the sales department at 619-280-1718, extension 604, I think is the sales department number. It's a 2013 BV350. He purchased it when it was nearly new, I think off the first owner who just pretty much bought it and never used it. So I think if I recall, it only had like 100 miles on it or something. Some people buy stuff and don't use them, but I tend to like to use my stuff. So like my review videos, I'm going to start with the stuff he's added to the scooter and move from the front of the scooter all the way to the back. So Travis has kept the scooter in immaculate condition considering the age. Starting with the brakes, this is the early BV350 that does not have the anti-lock brakes. It does have the linked front and rear brakes and the larger brake rotor. He has EBC sintered brake pads in the front, so the front braking is much stronger than they originally are out of the box. Moving on up to the turn signals, he's removed the stock pods that were normally mounted underneath the handlebars and set them up into the original positions that you find in Europe for the leg shields. And moving on to the headlight, he's replaced the stock low beam with an HID headlight. And I've done some experimentation with the headlights for these scooters. I've tried many different LED headlight retrofit bulbs. None of them really work that well with the lens design that's on this BV350. But the HID kits, they work really good. Lights up the road well, and it has that nice, cool blue kind of color to it. Moving on up to the handlebars, it's got the Ram X grip mount for your mobile phone. It's got the heated Apollo heated grips on it. It's pretty nice on the cold days. 10,000 miles on this scooter, has a fresh belt in it. He's done all the service, probably over-serviced it. He liked the remote that was found on the newer scooters, so he just wired this right in. So it's got the remote that pops the seat, just like a brand new BV350. And in the video, I showed the Force Master that's been professionally installed. He's even going as far as replace the interior lights with an LED. And the big and expensive mods that he's done to this, it has the Variator Kit, the Akrapovic Muffler, and the Performance rear shocks, along with a top case and add more light bar for added safety. So I hope you found it all useful. This is Robot from Vespa Motorsport. Search our YouTube channel for all the service videos, a full comprehensive set of videos on servicing a BV350. It's one of my favorite Piaggio products. My heart's all about Vespa. I love Vespas, especially the vintage ones, but the BV350, if you're looking for a tool that will rule the highways and commute great, this is it. Until next time, it's Robot from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. You can find all the products that I spoke about on our website, ScooterWest.com. Just punch in the part number and you'll see the latest price and stock and availability. We tend to keep everything in stock all the time, unlike many other shops that need to try to order stuff as they need stuff. We have over $2 million of inventory at all times. It's quite a commitment that we have here at Vespa Motorsport and Scooter West, and it greatly helps my service department. We can do services so quickly. I can do full performance upgrades, sometimes in as short a time as 24 hours, because we have all the parts in stock. Until next time, Robot here.